G'day people, I'm Sharon, welcome to my channel. If you've been watching my series on how to make pants or trousers, you'll know that I've already done one set of pockets. But what if the pockets you want to do need to be something a little less formal? Maybe you want something that's just in a side seam, and that way you can put it on children's clothes. Let's have a look how we do that. To make a pattern for a pocket for a child, or for that matter for myself, where I want the pocket not to be a trouser style one, I'm going to make something like this. I come up and follow the side of the pattern and the top of the pattern, come in 2.5 inches down. I make that pocket pattern big enough for my hand. That's what I'm aiming at. You'll notice I've got a mark here. This is where my hand will enter the pocket. It's not going to be a completely invisible pocket, but it's going to function very, very well. I don't need to really mark that on the fabric, but I'm probably going to stick some pins there to let me know where it is. There's my pocket patterns. I've cut out 4 because I'm going to do a left and a right hand pocket. Here are the fronts with the right sides up. I'm going to get 2 pocket pieces for this front and 2 for this front. I've separated them out. The right side is down at the moment, or on the inside of these 2 pieces. Hopefully, maybe you can see that there is, that matches, but this one doesn't. So this is the right side. This is the wrong side. I want the one where I'm putting 2 right sides together. There's my 2 right sides, wrong side up. I will get my pattern and I'm going to put 2 pins into this. One here where that line is, and another one here where the line is. It's important to remember nothing has to be perfect when you're making clothing. People aren't going to, unless they're hugely different, they're not going to notice that the pocket on this side is 1/8 of an inch different to the pocket on the other side. It's just not going to be. So what I'm looking for is something that's pretty close, and I will do that on both sides. So there are the right sides of my 2 front pattern pieces. I've got the right sides of pockets down, and I'm now going to sew around here. And essentially what I want to sew is what I've got drawn here. I'm going to go in about 1.5 centimeters, down there and out again at these points. Having sewn that on, I have clipped into those corners, and now I'm going to turn it through and pin it. That has taken out a chunk there, and I'm going to top stitch it here. It's cut out, it's top stitched, and the pocket is in here. I am now going to lay the other part of the pocket that goes with this on top of it on the inside, and I'm going to overlock around this edge. Having done my overlocking or serging around that edge of the pocket, when I come back to this side, I just need to do some stitching with my sewing machine around that little corner and down here to join things to the main body of the pattern, the front of the pattern, and then it's just the same as doing my normal making of pants. It really is a matter of just a few minutes to get a pocket ready so that you can sew up the rest of the pants. But what if you wanted to put a zip in them? Another thing you can do with this style is when you clip that there, and then I'll fold it in. If you've made this the right depth and the right length, you can actually top stitch a zip into the pocket. I would have needed to sew that in a bit further, but I could be top stitching a zip in there, and then that sews into the pant as I'm making it, and you get a zipped pocket. and I used to do that a lot for my children when I was making track pants for them, so that they had a zippered pocket. The fronts of my trousers have got their pockets complete. I have pinned them to make sure that the pockets do not flap out and get caught in any other seams while I'm sewing the backs on. So I've got the right sides up here. I put the right sides down of the backs and just sew them up exactly as I did when I showed you making separate waistband pants. Nothing else is different about this now, but they will have pockets in them. The only other thing to remember about this is that chunk that you're cutting out at the side for where your hand goes into the pocket. It must be bigger than the seam allowance. Otherwise, you risk sewing your pocket shut when you sew the seam. And we really don't want that, do we? See you next time.